Hello and welcome to Leo English Story, the channel where we share new English stories and listening practice every day to help you improve your English step by step. I'm Leo, and today we're going to explore a very useful topic: daily routine. Whether you are a student, a worker, or just someone who wants to speak better English, learning how to talk about your daily activities is very important. You can use this vocabulary and structure in conversations, in writing, and when listening to others. In this video, I will take you through the complete day of a young man named Daniel, who lives in a small town. His routine includes everything from waking up early in the morning to going to bed at night. Each part of the day will be in its own section. You will hear natural English sentences, repeated vocabulary, and simple grammar. This is perfect for learners at the A2, B1 level. I recommend you listen carefully, repeat after me, and try to write down some of the useful phrases you hear. Are you ready? Let's begin. Daniel usually wakes up at 6:30 in the morning. The sound of his alarm clock is loud, but he does not press the snooze button. He opens his eyes slowly, stretches his arms, and sits up in bed. The room is quiet, and the early sunlight enters through the window. Daniel yawns and says, "Good morning" to himself. The first thing Daniel does is drink a glass of water. He keeps a bottle next to his bed. After that, he goes to the bathroom. He brushes his teeth for about 2 minutes and washes his face with cold water. It helps him feel fresh and awake. Then, he takes a warm shower. He uses shampoo and soap, and after drying himself with a towel, he puts on clean clothes. After getting dressed, Daniel makes his bed. He straightens the sheets and fluffs the pillows. He likes his room to look tidy before starting the day. Then, he opens the curtains to let more light in. He also opens the window to let in some fresh air. Around 6:50, Daniel goes to the kitchen. He prepares a simple cup of tea with a little sugar and lemon. Sometimes, he drinks black coffee instead. While drinking, he checks his phone for any important messages or news. He does not spend too much time on social media in the morning. He likes to stay focused. After tea, he does a short 10-minute stretching session. He follows a video on his phone. This helps him relax his body and prepare for the day ahead. On weekends, he sometimes goes for a short morning walk in the park nearby. By 7:15, Daniel is ready to begin his real morning activities. He picks up his planner and checks what tasks are on his schedule. He writes a few goals for the day. For example, finish report, call Anna, and do laundry. Writing goals helps him stay organized. At 7:30, he prepares breakfast, but we will talk more about that in the next section. For now, Daniel has already done many things. He woke up, cleaned himself, did light exercise, and planned his day. His morning routine is simple, but it makes a big difference. It helps him feel ready, fresh, and positive. Daniel begins making breakfast at around 7:30 a.m. He likes to keep it simple but healthy. He usually eats 2 boiled eggs, some toast with butter or jam, and a banana. On some days, he prepares oatmeal with honey and milk. While cooking, he listens to soft music or sometimes an English podcast. After placing his breakfast on the table, Daniel takes a moment to sit quietly and enjoy his meal. He believes that eating slowly is good for digestion. He drinks a glass of orange juice or a cup of milk, depending on what he has in the fridge. While eating, Daniel often thinks about his day. He checks his planner again and reviews the tasks. He likes to feel prepared. If he has an important meeting or a project deadline, he takes a deep breath and reminds himself to stay calm and confident. By 7:50, breakfast is over. Daniel washes his plate, cup, and utensils and leaves the kitchen clean. He believes that a clean space helps him think clearly. Next, it's time to get fully ready. Daniel goes to his room and chooses clothes suitable for the day. If it's a working day, he picks a neat shirt and jeans or trousers. If it's the weekend, he prefers something more casual like a t-shirt and shorts. He checks the weather on his phone to see if he needs a jacket or umbrella. Then, Daniel fixes his hair and looks in the mirror. He sometimes uses hair gel or just water. He brushes his teeth one more time and puts on a little deodorant to stay fresh. Around 8:10 a.m., Daniel packs his bag. He checks that he has his laptop, charger, notebook, pens, wallet, and water bottle. If he plans to go to the gym later, he also packs his gym clothes. Finally, Daniel puts on his shoes, takes one last look around the apartment, and turns off the lights. He locks the door and steps out. His morning preparation is complete, and now it's time for Daniel to head to work or school. At around 8:15 a.m., Daniel walks out of his apartment and locks the door behind him. The sun is already shining, and the streets are getting busy. He walks to the bus stop, which is just 5 minutes away. On his way, he greets his neighbors with a smile and a polite good morning. While waiting at the bus stop, Daniel checks the time and listens to music with his earphones. Sometimes, he listens to an English podcast to improve his language skills. The bus usually arrives at 8:25 a.m. When it comes, Daniel steps in, finds a seat near the window, and greets the driver politely. The ride to the office takes about 25 minutes. Daniel uses this time to relax, think about his tasks for the day, or reply to messages. He likes looking outside the window at the people, trees, and buildings. If he feels sleepy, he closes his eyes and takes a short rest, but he always sets an alarm on his phone to avoid missing his stop. Daniel works as a junior assistant in a local office. When he reaches the office building around 8:50, he walks to the second floor and greets the receptionist with a cheerful good morning. He enters the office, takes off his bag, and puts it in his locker. Before starting work, he goes to the staff kitchen and pours himself a cup of tea or coffee. He chats for a minute with a colleague and then heads to his desk. He turns on his computer and starts checking emails. He replies to the important ones and writes down tasks in his notebook. His morning tasks usually include preparing reports, organizing documents, or updating data on the computer. Daniel likes to work quietly, but sometimes he helps colleagues with printing or fixing small tech problems. He believes in teamwork and always says yes when someone needs help. At around 10:30 a.m., there is a short tea break. Daniel joins other team members in the kitchen for a 5-minute chat and a biscuit. They talk about the news, weekend plans, or funny stories from the office. After the break, he returns to his desk and continues working until lunchtime. He enjoys his job and tries to do it well every day. Going to work is not just about earning money for him. It's also about growing, learning, and connecting with people. After returning from the tea break, Daniel focuses on completing his tasks before lunch. He opens the spreadsheet he started earlier and checks the numbers. He types carefully, double-checking each entry. His job requires him to be accurate and detail-oriented. At around 11:30 a.m., he has a small meeting with his supervisor. They talk about weekly targets and goals. Daniel takes notes and asks questions when he does not understand something. He always tries to learn from his boss and improve his work. Once the meeting is over, Daniel helps a colleague who is new to the team. He shows her how to use the office printer and how to organize the digital files. He is patient and explains slowly so that she can follow. The new colleague thanks him with a big smile. Daniel also spends time answering phone calls. He speaks politely, listens carefully, and writes down important messages. Sometimes, he connects the calls to other departments. His voice is calm and professional. At around 12:45 p.m., it's finally lunchtime. Daniel goes to the break room with his co-workers. He brings a homemade lunch in a box, usually rice, vegetables, and chicken or paella. He sits with the same group of co-workers every day, and they enjoy chatting about movies, food, and local news. They laugh and relax together. Lunch lasts for 30 minutes. After eating, Daniel washes his lunchbox and gets ready for the second part of his workday. He checks his notebook and continues with new tasks. These may include updating the company's calendar, sending reminder emails, or organizing a meeting room for later. Around 2:30 p.m., he takes a short 5-minute break to stretch his legs. He walks around the office and drinks some water. This helps him stay active and avoid feeling sleepy. Sometimes in the afternoon, Daniel attends a short training session. These sessions help the staff learn new software or improve communication skills. Daniel enjoys learning new things and always takes notes. By 4 p.m., Daniel begins reviewing what he has done during the day. He checks his to-do list and marks the completed items. He writes down unfinished tasks to continue the next day. Before leaving, he cleans his desk, turns off his computer, and says goodbye to his teammates. He leaves the office at 4:30 p.m. feeling tired but satisfied. His workday is complete, and now he looks forward to relaxing at home. After finishing work at 4:30 p.m., Daniel walks to the bus stop and takes the same route home. The ride is calm, and he often listens to music or simply looks outside at the busy streets. When he arrives at his stop, he gets off the bus and walks for about 5 minutes to reach his apartment. When Daniel gets home, he takes off his shoes and puts his bag in the corner. He changes into comfortable clothes, usually a t-shirt and jogging pants. The first thing he does is drink a glass of cold water to refresh himself. Then, he sits on the couch for a few minutes to relax. At around 5:30 p.m., Daniel does a few light exercises or stretches. On some days, he does yoga or goes for a short jog in the park. This helps him stay healthy and feel better after sitting all day at work. On days when he is very tired, he skips the exercise and takes a short nap. By 6:15 p.m., Daniel is ready to start his evening activities. He sometimes watches TV or a series online. He enjoys documentaries, comedy shows, or short films in English to improve his listening skills. He also spends time on his phone, replying to messages and checking social media, but he limits his screen time to about 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes, Daniel uses this time to do chores. He may do the laundry, clean the kitchen, or take out the trash. He believes that keeping his space clean helps him feel calm and focused. At around 7 p.m., he begins preparing dinner. If he is feeling lazy, he heats something in the microwave. But usually, he enjoys cooking. He prepares simple meals like pasta, vegetable stir-fry, or rice and lentils. While cooking, he often plays soft music or listens to another English podcast. Daniel eats dinner at around 7:30 p.m. He sets the table, lights a small candle, and eats slowly. He uses this time to think about his day and reflect. He sometimes writes in a small journal about what went well and what he can improve. After dinner, he washes the dishes and tidies up the kitchen. Now, it's time to begin his night routine, which we'll talk about in the next section. After cleaning up the kitchen, Daniel likes to start his night routine slowly. It's around 8 p.m., and the sky is getting darker. He dims the lights in his living room and plays soft background music to create a peaceful atmosphere. He also lights a small lavender-scented candle which helps him relax. The first thing he does is make himself a cup of warm herbal tea. He usually drinks chamomile or mint tea before bed. While the water boils, he prepares his things for the next day. He places his clothes out for the morning, checks his planner one last time, and makes sure his alarm is set. These small steps help him avoid stress in the morning. At 8:30 p.m., Daniel spends 15 to 20 minutes reading a book. He enjoys simple novels or personal development books. He avoids looking at his phone or computer during this time. The goal is to let his eyes rest and prepare his mind for sleep. Sometimes, Daniel writes a few lines in his journal. He writes about things that made him smile or what he learned during the day. This helps him stay positive and focused on his personal growth. Writing his thoughts also helps him sleep better. Before going to the bathroom, Daniel takes a few minutes to stretch his neck, shoulders, and back. These light stretches help his body relax. He believes that caring for your body helps improve sleep quality. At 9 p.m., he goes to the bathroom. He brushes his teeth carefully and washes his face with cool water. He puts on his pajamas and combs his hair. Then, he turns off the bathroom light and heads to the bedroom. Daniel turns on a small bedside lamp and sits on his bed. He says a short prayer or positive affirmation, such as "I did my best today" or "Tomorrow will be a good day." These words give him peace. He sets his phone to airplane mode and places it away from his bed. Then, he turns off the lamp, lies down under his blanket, and closes his eyes. By 9:30 p.m., Daniel is usually asleep. His day is complete. His healthy and organized night routine helps him rest deeply and wake up with energy the next morning. Thank you for listening to this full daily routine with me, Leo. I hope you enjoyed learning about Daniel's day and that you now feel more confident talking about your own daily routine. Remember, you can always come back and listen again. The more you hear English, the more your brain learns it naturally. Try this, write your own daily routine in English, and say it aloud, just like Daniel. This is great practice and will help you remember vocabulary and sentence structure. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Leo English Story, and share it with a friend who is learning English too. See you tomorrow for another fun and helpful English story. Bye for now, and keep learning.